Welcome everyone and welcome to another video. I wanted to make this one for a while in fact, but I didn't really know where to start because you see lately I've been playing through some of my old PC games and going through my collection a bit. And at the moment I'm with X-Men Wolverine Origins, but then I started to go back and play some Web of Shadows. So funny story, I started Origins and then I saw this in my cabinet and I pulled it out. Decided to play that instead. And after a while, I started thinking and things like that, you know. So other games that I've been having on my list for a while now was um, the not so good Devil May Cry 3 port, Juiced 1, which is a terrible game, Juiced 2, which is miles better. So I've been playing these and I've been trying to figure out how to get some of them working as well because you see, my disk drive on my PC is acting up a bit. I haven't used it in months, if not years, and it's having a problem reading discs all of a sudden. I'm not too sure what it could be, but it could be that maybe the discs somehow, while kept in storage, have aged, or I don't understand how it works. But yeah, so in doing all of this, I decided to go online, look at my options in terms of where I can get the games from. I legally own these games, so downloading the other version, if you know what I mean, shouldn't be a problem. Obviously, you don't want to download malware or anything like that. And then I stumbled upon Abandonware. Now, this is where things get a bit interesting. So, for those of you who don't know what Abandonware is, in fact, I didn't know about it myself until recently, is a software product, especially a video game whose copyright is no longer defended or which is no longer marketed even by the company who made it. So, why that definition is somewhat important is basically, um, oh, I just realized I've been actually recording a very terrible background. Sorry about that. So, why that is actually very important is because games like Spider Man, Web of Shadows, I found out that this game was delisted a long time ago. In fact, anybody who wanted to buy the digital copy or even buy it till this day can't really find it. And a physical copy of this thing is insane. Let me just see. Um, Spider Man, Web of Shadows, PC for sale. So I remember looking at it a few days ago and I thought it was a bit ridiculous at how expensive some of this thing is. And I don't know. Obviously, this is being sold on eBay. Now, I think we all know that the used games market on eBay is somewhat a bit of a joke at times. Now, this basically works out to like, I don't know, 444 US dollars. I don't know if this is accurate. Is this really a thing? I don't know. Um, like let's look at the PS3 version. I've been wanting to get my hands on that for a very long time, and I've never really found it. So the PlayStation 2 version, which is by far one of the worst versions, don't ever get that unless you're a collector. Seems to be a bit pricey. The Xbox version, not so much. PS3, okay, it's a bit steep. It is a bit steep, but that's the thing with Spider-Man games in general. They do go a bit, they get a bit expensive, but like this is reasonably priced. But yeah, it is what it is. So I found out recently that some of these things are abandonware, basically meaning that you can get it for free. So um, one of the sites that I've come across is myabandonware.com. And let's just go and have a look over here. I did this earlier on. So let's look for Spider-Man and see what pops up. So there's apparently a list of games over the years, for as I think as far back as the 80s, maybe earlier, I don't know, where you can actually go onto these sites and download them. Some of these games are a bit wild though. Like check this one out. It's called Mortal Kombat vs Street Fighter Windows 2012. This is obviously not an official game. It's probably a fan-made project using like the Mugen or Mugen engine, however you pronounce that. But yeah, Mortal Kombat versus Street Fighter. I think we all know it's gonna end pretty badly for the guys in Street Fighter. Sorry, man. But then there's other bangers in here like X2 Wolverine's Revenge. This came back out in 2003, and I never played it myself. And I remember watching a trailer of this thing like in 2005, and I was like, whoa, I really want to play this game. And I never could find a physical copy anywhere for anything console, PC, it didn't really matter. And now I found out it's an abandonware. You can just download this stuff and, well, play it. But there is a bit of a few things you need to be wary of. So some of these games apparently have malware in them. Now, I don't know if that is intentional or alternatively whether it's just picking up like the cracked version of the game as malware. That can happen. Like another game that I really love, and I just downloaded that now, I'm going to try it out a bit later, is X-Men Children of the Atom. I love 2D fighting games. I've always loved them since I was a kid. The first fighting game I ever played on the PlayStation 1 was X-Men vs. Street Fighter, and that for me was like amazing. Up until that point, I've only played things on like a 6 or what 8-bit cartridge system, one of these generic systems. There's always these really crappy games, which I was amazed by in the first place, and then all of a sudden I was like, exposed to this new world. It was absolutely insane. And now, check this out. X-Men Legends 2, Rise of the Apocalypse, or Rise of Apocalypse, 2005. This is wild. These kind of games I never played before, and if I think this looks similar to like Marvel Ultimate Alliance, and I love X-Men. Seeing these kind of games, this kind of artwork, like hey, hello, Iceman, Storm, Magneto. That's actually a pretty sick one. It's a bit low res though. Make a cool wallpaper. Anyway, so yeah, there's quite a few things to look at over here. The Incredible Machine 2. I played this game back in the day when I was like in primary school. I think I was maybe 9 or 8. I don't know. But the machines that we had in the computer lab all had Windows 98 on them. And these games were installed on those Windows 98 machines. Um, I think it was Windows 98. I can't remember whether it was 95 or 98. Some had 95 and some had 98, but I can't remember. I do remember playing this Incredible Machine game though, and this was just insane. Like seeing all of these things again, it's wild. Yu-Gi-Oh! Power of Chaos. I played this in like 2009. This is also Abandonware. Obviously, Konami's not really doing anything with it, so I don't think they're going to be enforcing any of the copyright anytime soon. It's not like people are just coming in and start barging into your house and shotguns in the air, FBI open up kind of thing. So I don't know. Now there are a few things to be wary of, like some websites that I've gone to, like for example, Resident Evil 2. As much as it appears on abandonwaregames.net, it's actually not abandonware. So if you try to download it, the download option is not available. And even for like Resident Evil 3, I don't remember that screenshot, but anyway. Download Resident Evil 3. Currently, the game cannot be downloaded from our website. Now, usually this happens when the copyright is being enforced or when it's no longer abandonware. So it gets taken off the site. Now, obviously, if you have the game at that point in time on your hard drive, then it's obviously illegal. But until this, it's sort of like a gray area until really they delist the game from being abandonware. You can't really do much. Well, they can't do much to you legally, that is. Like Need for Speed 2 Special Edition. I've got the physical edition of this for, I think, PC. Yes, it is PC, but it's not the special edition. I don't think it is. It's just a normal one. But this for me was like an absolute banger back in the day. It's Need for Speed. And where it gets crazy is like games like Ultimate Spider-Man. This had that whole comic book aesthetic, and I loved this game. I played it very briefly, and I really enjoyed it. I didn't really finish the game, played it for about an hour or two, and I just had a bit of fun here and there. I liked the art style. I love the graphics. I love the way Venom and Spider-Man both look in terms of the color palettes and things like that. It's a very comic book looking kind of thing. I like those kind of things. I love that. Spider-Man Friend or Foe, never played the game before, but this as well is also Abandonware. And from what it looks like, it's a multiplayer Spider-Man game, so I'd like to give it a shot and see what it's like. All of these things are available, and I like that. I like that things are being preserved. I'm one of those guys that actually likes to emulate things. I like to keep things, preserve it. That's why I buy physical copies of games, even if it's on PC. Some of these things are old and outdated, and some of them don't even work on modern operating systems, but I believe that you should always try to purchase physical copies of games, because one, it keeps physical sales going. The other thing is the used games are floating about out there. So if you're a collector and you can't get a new version of a game, for example, Spider-Man Web of Shadows, good luck finding a new sealed one like that. I mean, that thing is already really expensive, and I'm pretty sure that's also part of the crap gaming collecting subreddit. I think it deserves to go there. Like I purchased this in 2009 from the job that I worked. I worked in a retail store, and I think it's the equivalent of like $15 or $12 today is what I paid for this thing, and it was brand new sealed at the time. So some things get a bit ridiculous. So some of these games are dated. In fact, all of them are dated. Spider-Man Windows 2001. Which one is this? This is the one that's on the PlayStation 1 and Dreamcast, if I remember. I do not know which version this is. It kind of does look like this is the Dreamcast version that's been ported, because I don't remember this level over here, but I could be wrong. I didn't play the game to the end. So, yeah, there's that. But I don't know which version of it is. And that's the other thing as well, which I loved about it. It had the comic book covers in it. So if you were like a 90s kid and you saw this kind of stuff, you were amazed. Like you were like completely blown away because I'd never seen a Spider-Man comic in a store before. In fact, till now I haven't seen a physical copy of one. But yeah, here we go. Spider-Man Web of Shadows. This is by far my favorite Spider-Man game. I haven't played the new one. I've got it on PS4. I've played Miles Morales for like 5 minutes. But this one in particular is my favorite one. I think it's the best Spider-Man game I've played to date. But then again, I only ever played Spider-Man 2 on the PS1, and then I played this game afterward. So I jumped like 10 years, and obviously my mind was blown by the web swinging and the combat and all of those kind of things. In fact, I did quite a good run with it recently. I installed some mods, did some reshade in it, and the game looked a lot better than the standard version, but glitchy and stuff like that. But I got to enjoy it, and it was a lot of fun. So, if for any reason out there you're stuck for games, sometimes if all you ever play is AAA games, it can get a bit boring because there's not that many good releases as of late. Some games let you down, like the whole Rockstar GTA trilogy remastered. It's something that just genuinely let you down. So maybe you want to go back in time and play some games that you never really got a chance to find or purchase at that point in time. Now they are free, like the the award-winning Spider-Man 3. I don't recommend this game, but play it anyway. If you're a Spider-Man fan, play it. But I don't recommend it personally. I don't recommend it. It's a terrible game. But yeah, Fighting Force. Not like it's any better than Spider-Man, but back in the day, this thing was on the PlayStation 1. And I love beat 'em ups, brawlers, side scrollers, games like Streets of Rage, Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, that kind of stuff. I really, really enjoy those things. Asterix, the Gallic War. I don't think I've ever played this version of Asterix and Obelix, but here it is. It's also Abandonware. So as long as the download is available, it's generally Abandonware. These guys, from what I can see, tend to keep things up to date. Like even True Crime Streets of LA, I don't know what the PC port is, but I've got this on the PlayStation 2, and it is a fun game. It's got a lot of early 2000s gameplay elements mixed in there, slow motion camera, those kind of things, some GTA style kind of content. But it is still fun. It's still enjoyable, and honestly speaking, give it a shot. You haven't given Abandonware a shot as yet? Go ahead. I'm not trying to sell this thing hard. I'm trying to tell you that games are available to you. You just got to be a bit careful, though. You don't want to be downloading malware, So, like Streets of Rage Remake. This looks a little bit better than the original Streets of Rage. I don't know to what extent. I haven't played it as yet. But this appears to be a fan-made reproduction of some kind somehow. I don't understand how it is here, but in 2003, Bomber Games published Streets of Rage Remake on Windows. The action game is now Abandonware and set in a fancy beat 'em up, blah blah blah, and fan-made themes. Wow, would you look at that? Learn something new. Streets of Rage 2. This is the Genesis version. Oh, it's available on Genesis. Sorry, as Abandonware. See, Steam. Excuse me. So if you want to buy the thing, it's available on Steam. It's no longer Abandonware, so that option is available to you. So you got to keep that in mind. You got to keep checking back here and there. Sometimes new games get added in, sometimes they don't. Streets of Rage 1, this is also now available on Steam, so you can no longer download it via the Abandonware website. The good thing is some screenshots are available over there. LA Racing, I don't even know what this game is about, but it does look interesting. It looks like a mobile game, a really shitty mobile game. But yeah, I think I'll give some of these games a shot to see what it's. Street Racing Syndicate. I got this on Steam. It is a terrible game. Some people like it, but I'm to be honest with you, it is a terrible, god-awful game. My goodness. It's got a lot of those early car shows from like the 2000s in there. A lot of the street racing kind of things. Themes, got the ladies, you got those cars. The cars are horrible. The code for the driving is terrible. The nitro system is terrible. This that you're seeing right here is actually a camera filter that you apply when you are watching a replay. You can apply several other filters, but it's still just an overall terrible game. I hate everything about this game. Nothing is fun and nothing is enjoyable. I wish it was never made. Why is this not free? I always wanted this game, but I don't have the money to buy it, and still to this day, I don't have the money to buy it. Crazy. Okay, I bought the thing on Steam for like $3, so it's terrible. Don't buy it, please don't. This one is where I get a bit interested. I've got Jet Set Radio on Steam, and I don't know what this game is about, but it looks very similar to that Street Gears made in 2009. So I'm gonna download this and see what I can get out of it. Free to play MMORPG about roller skating, launched in 2009. In 2015, service of the game was shut down, but fans of the game cooperated in Project Street Gears and launched their private server. You can download the launcher to for it on their Discord or on this page. That's wild. So basically, it's like Jet Set Radio, but an MMO version, which you can then uh, access via a private server. Now, like I'm saying, you just got to be careful of the games that you go and download. Look at the comments section, obviously, like check it out, Sonic 3D Blast. This is now no longer abandonware, but I've got a physical copy of this somewhere. I've got a whole bundle of Sonic games. Sorry, even Sonic R. I've actually got a physical copy of this. I bought it way back when I first got a PC in like 2000. Well, an okay PC in like 2006. It was like $1, and I bought this thing because it's the only game, despite being a 3D game, my PC could actually handle back then. It'll play it like at 20 frames per second, but hey, beggars can't be choosers. You got no graphics card and only 512 megs of RAM with Windows Vista. Whew. So I have flashbacks, yeah. Sonic Heroes. Never played this game. Watched a few YouTube videos about it today. Screenshots look pretty fun. So I'm going to give that a go when I get a chance. Sonic the Hedgehog Genesis. You can buy this on Steam, but I got the collection for that. Both on PS2 and on PC, I think. So, yeah. Some of these games look fun. Some of them are very old. Some can no longer be downloaded as abandonware. But, it's there. So, give it a shot if you haven't. And let me know down in the comment section below which is your favorite one. Before we go, though, let me just give you some of the more fun ones that I've actually found. So this is what I learned recently. Actually today. Most Wanted from Need for Speed. As in the best or the last Need for Speed game ever. Good Need for Speed game ever made. Is actually now abandonware. It's So yeah, it's crazy. Released in 2013 in Germany. What? If there's anybody from Germany who can confirm this, please let me know. Is that real? I mean, you guys got it like 8 years after the rest of us, or the most of us. That's pretty wild. It's by far one of the best games ever made. 161 megabytes. That is kind of hard to believe. Oh no, see, like, take a look at this. This too is coming as corrupted for me. Don't know why. Both versions. Don't have download for this. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. How to start, install the game, run, blah, blah. So there is a bit of tinkering to go from what I can see over here. The Spider-Man Web of Shadows was an original game for me, so I don't really download anything from here. I did patch the game though, so that's the other thing as well. You got to look for your own patches in some cases if it's not available on the site. Mods are not available on the site, and also in terms of reshading, you got to install your own reshade and enhance it from there, or fiddle with the settings from there. My advice to you guys though is, if you ever get a chance, instead of downloading this version of Need for Speed Most Wanted, download the remastered version. There is a fan remake or fan remaster of it. Same goes with Need for Speed Underground 1 and 2. These games as well also have fan remasters of them. So try to download them if you can and give it a shot. You will need a slightly okay graphics card to play the remastered versions though. If you don't have a graphics card, you can try it out, but I don't know what kind of results you'll get. Obviously, a lot of these games that are now abandonware don't really require a graphics card if you've got modern hardware installed. To some extent, though, you will have a bit of problems. You will need to be running other machines. Like, for example, some games only work on DOS, so you have to run like DOS box. Maybe you'll want to run a virtual machine in case you're frightened of any malware. And maybe you want to install like a Windows 98 operating system, unless you've got like a proper Windows 98 gaming PC for these older titles, and like a mid-range XP PC or something like that. I wish I had an actual solid Windows XP gaming machine right now. I've got the hardware to build one. I think I should actually do that. Install Windows XP on that and do my best to get it rolling. But yeah, there's another game, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, or the Philosopher's Stone as it's known in some other places. I played this way back in the day, like 2004, for the PS1. And, well, back then I was still a kid and I liked it, despite the fact that I aged like cheese. So yeah, I think I was like 13 or something. No, 2004. Yeah, I was 13 years old when I played this game, and I liked it. It was quite a good adventure game. So this as well is Abandonware. You can also have a look and see if there's any of the other Harry Potter games that fall in the same thing. But yeah, there's a lot to go through. Netherworld, Beyond Time I Stand. This game, if you guys ever get a chance to, please go onto YouTube and watch the trailer for it. It is an absolute bang off a trailer. It is something that is so memorable. You will never forget it for the rest of your days. Trust me. This game's got one hell of a backstory as well. I think I'll do a video on that. But trust me, please, I beg of you, go and watch the trailer for this. You will be amazed. Your mind will be blown. You might not sleep for a very long time, but yeah, please do it. I've never played this game before. Pilot down behind enemy lines. Looks like fun. It's got these cool comic pages over here. I like that kind of thing. It reminds me of 13. So yeah, this is Paraworld. Never heard of it. Beyond Law. Never heard of it. Colin McRae Rally. I've got this for the PS1 2.0. So it's going to have like PS1 style graphics. Obviously, it's on PC. It's going to be slightly higher resolution. So yeah, there are some games in there that are very, very old, but still enjoyable. Like this game's, I'm not too sure if it's a thing with all rally games, but it's got some really good drift physics. You just drift around every corner. Then I found this website called Vetusware or Vetusware. I don't know how to pronounce that. But yeah, it seems like a very basic looking website. I think I've got my ad block enabled. Yeah, I don't know this site, so I'm not gonna trust them just yet. The other sites, I actually did a bit of research before I started making this video, so it seems like they are a bit trusted. There are some games, however, which come up as malware. I think it might have something to do with the no CD files, so be careful of that. Yeah, anyway, I hope you guys enjoy it. If you liked the video, leave a like. If you disliked it, leave a dislike. Tell me what kind of game you'd like to play on Abandonware, or if you visit these websites, frequent with them. If you can recommend any games that I should play or try out on Abandonware, please let me know. I love to play older games. Most newer games just plain up suck. So there's a few exceptions here and there, but yeah, generally they're just awful. And I also have a huge backlog I wanted to catch up on since I was a kid. Never really had the time to do it. Rather, I just kept making up the excuses that I never had the time to do it when I did. So, yeah. Let me know in the comment section down below. Until next time, have a nice day. Bye.